So I'm working on this piece that is about where Christianity truly came from. As I've been telling you guys, I've been looking into the divide that happened with Constantine and what was Christianity before that, because obviously that was the original Christianity, or some form of it anyways. And I'll tell you, this is one of the biggest rabbit holes I've ever looked into. It has brought me to understanding more about who the Israelites were, or the Jews were at that time, of what they consisted of, what different factions of the Israelites, like the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and then the Essenes. So it was done through these three factions of Israelites. So I found that to be extremely interesting. And what I found as I'm looking, is that chances are Jesus was an Essene. So then you start to go into the Essene Gospels, and you're starting to see a different Jesus, if you will, or a different philosophies of what Jesus, not necessarily a different Jesus, because I think Jesus has been consistent throughout the scriptures. It's just what other people what they choose to focus on, or try to manipulate what he has to say by other writings, change what he had to say. But if you go into the Essene, you'll find that the Essene Gospels, the ones that were more in the Hagamadi Codex, you will find that they're more consistent with the actual sayings of Jesus. But beyond that, so I started to look at that and to find out who the Pharisees, who the Sadducees were, who the Essenes. Like I said, this has taught me that I know very little, is what it's taught me. But then I ran across this one book, as I'm saying in here, that I'm making it on the Irish wisdom preserved in the, what is it saying, in the Bible and in the pyramids. And this is by Connor McDowell. Okay, so he's got about 3 books. This was in 1923, so I'm going to be showing some of it later. That really isn't what I want to talk about right now, but it's in researching this book to see whether this book has got any validity whatsoever, because that's, I don't want to present something to you that's completely out to lunch. It's just somebody's thought. But what he's bringing out is that Jerusalem and all of this started in Ireland with the Druids. And like I said, I'll bring out the book and for you. I'll put a link in it. But I'm going to be going through some of the book so that you can understand it more fully, or at least the way I'm understanding. And what he brought out in the book was, one of the things that he brought out is that Jerusalem was actually located in England, not in Palestine, not where we are led to believe. So I went on a hunt trying to find it. He brings sites of ancient books, writings, and stuff like that that prove it. But I wanted to see whether I could find it today, because that really is pivotal to whether this book has any authority whatsoever, has any information. Well, I think it has a lot, actually. A lot of the stuff that is in this book I've actually been able to verify prior. So I do know that it's not all, or else I would have just ignored it completely. So I started looking, and I found this article because I started looking through the maps, old maps and stuff, and I just got lost. It was just, there's so much if you're trying to find Jerusalem. So I stumbled across this, and I think this is really interesting. And to me, it's a bit of a verification that this book is very possibly more to align with where Christianity came from, who wrote the Bible, and that part. So if you go into here, it's talking about all of the old pictures of Jesus, showing that it was, a lot of them showing when he was crucified. A lot of them showed that he was in a port city, which is nothing compared to Jerusalem today. It's like prairie land. It's in the middle of an area, middle of land. So we get all of these. So these are paintings that were done 1400, right? So older, coming back. Are they just all making it up? Okay, so 1430, 1514, 1488, same ones. Seaport area, Seaport, Jerusalem. Seaport, Jerusalem. What is this one? 1540, Seaport, Jerusalem. And we see a lot of these kind of castles, right? You know, and absolutely beautiful paintings. I fell in love with this type of art in the first place when I was a teenager. This is what drew me to God, drew me to the Bible. All of that was these magnificent. So do you see what I'm saying? Like this, what this guy's bringing up, you know? Okay. So here we go. And then it goes into, okay, excuse me guys for a second here. Here we go, Jerusalem. So this one is supposed to be a map of Jerusalem. And an ancient map of Jerusalem. And this is in the National Library. So I'm talking about Solomon's Temple. See how it's all, again, seaported? This is supposed to, okay. Okay, so now here we go down to this. I think this is really interesting. So Jerusalem was supposed to be destroyed by Titus in 70 CE. We all know that, right? So here it is in this book that was written 1661. Listen to what it's saying here. Jerusalem was destroyed by Titus, a new town built where the old Jerusalem was, and it was called Elia. E-L-I-A, Elia. And it was supposed to be built in 135, so about 75 years after. Or 65 years, I'm sorry. After Jerusalem was destroyed, this town of Elia was built. Okay, so let's go down. I'll put a link to this. And it talks about then, okay, because there's supposed to be a lot of maps that have Jerusalem in Africa. His contention is these are all made in the 1800s, which really makes them suspicious, all of these maps. When you're dealing at that late period of time and they all have Jerusalem, you know, they're not reliable as much as what you're going to get with these older. So this is the newer one, right? So they're putting Jerusalem here in all these different places. Confuse you. There's a number of different places. But then we go back to Elia in England. Here we got Elia in England. This is the source. So we know that Jerusalem was built from that. If you go by that, it was built. And the new town was called Elia, the city of Eli. Okay. And so anyways, I guess I just wanted to, that there is more going on that we don't actually understand. So here we go. This is kind of where they're saying it is. And that makes sense because that's an inlet. And it would make sense with the, right here. There you go. With the paintings and stuff. So it could, okay, what does it says? It could have been that the real Jerusalem was not destroyed by Rome, but submerged from a major flood. So anyways, guys, it's just another thought for you guys to think. And it's going to be to do with the book that I'm going to be presenting that's talking about who really wrote the book, the Bible, and it comes to do with looking back to see what the customs, was everything truly pagan, was what was truly our past, what happened in the Reformation when the churches, when one church took over another, when the Roman Church took over the Irish Celtic Church, if you will, whose was first, And what is the truth? Because that's really when it comes down to, all I want to do is follow the truth. And I care what religious men have tried to preach throughout the centuries as to what is good and bad. I'm following truth, not man. I've told you that before. I love y'all. Stay in love and light.
Jerusalem by William Blake. And did those feet in ancient time walk upon England's mountains green? And was the holy Lamb of God on England's pleasant pastures seen? And did the countenance divine shine forth upon our clouded hills? And was Jerusalem builded here among these dark satanic mills? Bring me my bow of burning gold. Bring me my arrows of desire. Bring me my spear, oh, clouds unfold. Bring me my chariot of fire. I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand, till we have built Jerusalem in England's green and pleasant land.